series has been thrown out the window. Global have been playing like absolute champions, or playing to the best that they can, and Invictus are really looking lost. Hopefully they can find themselves. Let's see what happens here on Mirage.
All right, well, let's find out as we do head into the final map in the series. Global Esports looking to cause the upset today against Invictus Gaming, and Invictus really at this point are kind of just trying to hold on to a bit of pride, because it has not been a good tournament for them at all. 0-2 yesterday against Vici. Now they've dropped a map against Global Esports, and if they drop this series against Global, then that is really going to raise some severe questions indeed.
Still, so hard to tell in terms of the form trading between maps, so to speak. And I mean, Invictus also had a chance to take a couple more rounds against Vici yesterday as well in Mirage. But out comes the A-side Execute. Enough about yesterday and enough about previous maps. Flying looking like he does want to contest maybe a little bit more. Just the first, or just the smoke onto connector and just pushing forward. And lightning fast. This was his playground yesterday. He definitely did very well in Mirage, and he started off the right way around as, South Stage has actually managed to push forward, but traded.
Round 4, Flying. How's he gotten through the murder hole? How's he won that aim duel? That should never be possible. Caramel now has his hands full in dealing with that as well. And this was a round that could have easily gone to Global Esports. But now, look at what's happened. I've got to be honest, if I'm Destroyer there, I'm going for the knife, I think. That's going to be a tough one still for Hellranger. 1 on 3. Time is running out, but the headshot is there. And Invictus will pick up the all-important pistol round. But dear, oh dear, that could have just as easily gone to Global.
Yeah, so just lightning fast. I don't know where he was looking at, but I think he might have been thrown off by a couple of Qs. Whatever it was, allows Flying to just come through the crawl space, just get that easy pick. And now Invictus will be able to get the rifles on. That said, Global, I don't know if they want to force up into this one. Mirage definitely not the worst to get a bit of armor and pistols working in the round after you do get the bomb plant down. And we are actually seeing Deagles come out. And straight into the contest at mid, where there's actually no one here for Invictus at the moment. Just Destroyer coming out of connector a bit late. Woohoo! And he's just been deleted.
Not too bad.
That's an M4 as well that's been lost. So Flying's going to retrieve that. But still, a man down nice and early on.
So far, so good for Global. That's a nice smoke, but it doesn't let them get across. There might have even been a hole in it, because Flying's been able to get a kill or two through that. Ranger continues to put the pain into Invictus's economy, but end of the day, losing 2 guns there is acceptable, at least for Invictus.
Yeah, I mean, it had the potential of blowing out a little bit more, and Global have done well just on the back of the couple of Deagles to get a few picks. But as you said, just a bit of a gap in the smoke, and I think that might have been actually body blocked at that time. So good stuff from, I believe it was Flying, to not only body block, but just contain that jungle pressure and to kind of just allow Invictus to secure that round from there. But Global, out comes the 8Ks, and thanks to a couple of picks as well as that bomb plant in the pistol round and being fiscally responsible, a lot of money and a lot of utility to play with. So good start. Invictus, all rifles though.
Now Saga is in such a good spot. You're never going to expect anyone that close behind the smoke. Maybe you're expecting someone in the ladder room, but definitely not there. And it's going to cost Global Esports their numbers advantage. Sage continues to stay aggressive, and he's going to deal with health as well. He was just trying to walk his way up connector. Again, it's Sage that's going to make the difference for Invictus Gaming. Fever's on the ball as well. He knows he's probably going to be copping a bit of util there, so he drops the smoke early, which allows him to cross back into sight, and Caramel has no idea. This is looking a little bit too good for Invictus until Sage goes down. Lightning fast, keeping it in the mix for Global Esports. They'll have to work their way into the B bomb site. Lightning fast and Hellranger trying to clutch out the 2-on-3, but it's a good start to it for Invictus, and they've got all 3 players on this side of the map. It's too easy in the end. Another 3 guns go through. Scout, though, not going to be upgraded.
Yeah, Viva just getting to the party a little bit late, but they still take the round, only dropping 2 guns. So once again, it was a pretty good situation that Global was in, but Sago is just really the difference at this moment. So normally when you're that short player, you get one, you expect, okay, he's not going to be staying around. The fact that he just reboosts there and actually gets another pick, normally you wouldn't expect that. Lightning Fast wouldn't have combat. You'd just be like, all right, they're still fighting short maybe a little bit, but to boost immediately after you make your presence, It's crazy, but it catches them off guard, and it works. This reminds me a bit of GoldenEye music, not gonna lie.
You found a GoldenEye?
Yeah.
A bit before my time, personally.
Oh, tactical pause is over. 3 rounds lost means it's actually a full loss bonus in the next round for Global, so you might as well get some armor and pistols to work with, as well as some utility. Out comes the smokes in the mid one more time. I love this pace from Deathmaker. He's already in window, but I think the Destroyer is expecting it. He's heard this.
Warrior is only going to be able to get one there, so not too bad of a trade in the end by Deathmaker. Shasage keeping an eye on things. The smoke fades favorably for Global Esports. Unfortunately, Caramel is going to re-pick the corner. Deathmaker's going to try and get something done with the AK, but he won't be able to do too much. 28 HP. It's not going to be an easy task for him. Global Esports just don't quite have the map control that they need right now to get into that A-bomb site and get a bomb plant down for free. Deathmaker's slowly working his way in there, but Hellranger definitely needs to keep an eye on CT spawn for him.
Oh, and the bomb's going to be lost in a moment as well. Surely Hellfighter. How does Hellfighter actually get into connector? So low on some of these members, but they're still alive. Unfortunately, not much they can really do. Maybe Hellranger? No. Unfortunately, just not enough HP. So they had a couple of weapons, a couple of opportunities to really make it work out. Unfortunately, just couldn't find the timing windows. And Invictus already up to a 4-0 start, but out comes the guns once again. The CT economy is not firmly set up just yet. Another tactical timeout for Global, burning through these quite early on.
Tactical timeout for Global Esports, and it's probably not a bad time for one. They're down 4-0, and this is a complete change-up of what we saw at the end of Inferno, where Global were really just running away with things and kind of making it look easy. Invictus is looking a little bit more switched on here. They seem to be a bit more on the ball. The going is a little tougher for Global Esports, and I guess it's very much in line with what our expectations were for this series as a whole. They were definitely subverted at the end of Inferno, and a bit of egg on our faces there. But Global Esports now trying to deal with the real Invictus, it feels like.
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of the case of I would have given Global the ability to take one map because I've always believed in the ability to the fundamentals. I think if you go into our pre-show, I would have said, look, there is a chance of actually going to the third map. Historically, I think Invictus do struggle in these series where they kind of take the foot off the pedal. And Viva pushing through, only gained a leg. Not too bad. Lightning Fast might go down here if he's not cautious. Not would have been peeking that without a flashbang. Yeah, fights just erupting all across the board at the moment. At the end of the day, it's just brawling that eventuates in a 3-on-2 lead for Invictus. Just down to timing at the moment. When does Destroyer peek out and actually get this information? Definitely going to be heard out here by Hellranger, who's in a nice little position. But can he cross safely?
Well, at the moment, Flying isn't really watching Connector, so at least he can get out of Connector. There's a chance, and Destroyer is playing a dangerous game right now. That smoke has prompted Destroyer to move over to the B bomb site, though, so Global Esports are at the moment toying with the CT side. Hellranger walks all the way into Connector, and this could actually be a bit of a masterstroke for him. He's given away his position now, though, with the flashbang. 33 seconds. Global will have to make a move into the A bomb site pretty quickly. Caramel's waiting for someone to boost up on a ticket so he can get a free pick, but that's not going to happen. And I think Global Esports have maybe waited a bit too long now. Invictus are going to start rotating across. Flying's holding close. He could even potentially deny the bomb plant. There's a pop flash that goes through for him, and that's how it goes. Global Esports relying on Caramel to win the 1-on-3, and he's not going to be able to do it. He did hit a nice no-scope. Just taken a little bit too long for them to get into the A-bomb site and get that bomb plant down, because at that point, when you start seeing the utility get thrown in by Global Esports, there's no time for Invictus to worry about Global going over to B or anything like that. They know that it's going to be a commitment to the A bomb site. They rotate all 3 players over, and it's an easy round in the end for Invictus, where it otherwise might not have been.
I think it's like also we have the ability to read everything that's going on the map. If I was Global, I'd actually be very concerned there is a player at A ramp, there is a player under balcony. So you want to give a bit of time to see if the CTs actually fall into the trap, right? Time's your friend there for Global, but unfortunately you have to make it move. You couldn't punish any over-aggression this time around. And as a result, you had to back away. Once again, it is going to be a buy round from Global, but they are starting to suffer a little bit here with no... Well, they did manage to get the bomb plant down. It is going to be a B site hit at this stage, and OI is going to be the one that's jump spotting it. Decent nade, but out comes Lightning Fast, but he can't get out.
Deathmaker is staying true to his name. Bit of damage has been done across the board for Global Esports. They're going to lose another one. Deathmaker does drop. HP's getting pretty low on health, and Caramel. Sage is in such a solid position. He's going to be able to get so much info here.
That's so cheeky what he's doing as well. He's just doing this time and time again on Mirage at the moment. He's playing so hyper-aggressive, but he's not overextending. He's really just being like a jackrabbit at the moment, just dancing over here, teasing Global in terms of, hey, I'm over here at short, I'm over at archers, there's no way I can be at short. And he just reads the rotation and comes back. So definitely stepping up individually at the moment. And unfortunately for Global, 2 on 4, very difficult to make their way into the ladder as well to clear this position out.
Oh, how does Caramel lose that? Well, more to the point, how does Sage win it? He's died to the grenade of health, but in the end, it doesn't matter. Invictus up 6-0. Global are going to be able to get another buy through here if they really want to force one. Caramel and Lightning Fast will have to drop down to some substandard weaponry, though. So maybe they'll just decide to take a save. That is something that Global have been pretty good about, is that they're not forcing into a lot of the rounds where you'd see other teams force buy into. They're quite happy to go for a bit more of the economic play. That's what they'll do here as well. It's a half buy from Global. Still a good chance to get something done, but it is going to promote a B rush. They've headed quickly in that direction. They do slow down just a little bit, but that's only to throw the util. I think they're going to speed things up.
Could be a fake as well. Just one set of utility being thrown at the moment. Draw out the CT utility, and then re-engage on the back of this. So a bit of a silent boost coming out. Out comes the second wave of utility. Out comes the hit.
And Sage looking a little bit too good. He's going to deal with Caramel. There's not really too many concerns there. The rest of Global haven't followed him up. So value certainly is lost for Global Esports when they don't get too much done over on B, and they're not also doing anything on other sides of the map.
Yeah, so individually, just once again, Global managed to get the players into maybe some nice positions here, but you can see that Invictus is already clued on. That said, though, hell of a shot coming out from Deathmaker. That's offered a bit of an opportunity, at the very least, for one of the Ts to enter into market to try to create a bit of pressure, especially with the AWP in the hands of Deathmaker. He's pretty good at this. But Xiao Sago is just too clued on at this moment, and he's not really in the mood to miss anything. Might be able to get the final pick as well. He spotted out the last player. There you have it. Man's on a roll right now with the AUG.
Indeed. So is Invictus. It's not even really looking close at the moment. The money is piling on for Invictus at the moment. Oi hasn't even died in these first 7 rounds.
I mean, I'd say for Global at the moment, it is time to actually start looking at maybe taking an A-side execute, coming in together. That's really where their strengths are lying at this stage. The mid round or the early round is being broken up by the aggression of the CTs. So instead, coming in together as a wolf pack, 5 people in. We're seeing that right now. Could be a huge dent.
Into the bomb site goes Global, and they've lost a lot of HP from the utility that's been thrown in by Invictus. 1 for 1, Flying does get a kill before going down, but it's Destroyer that might be the difference maker for Invictus. Speaking too soon, though, because now it's Sage, and he has consistently been that difference maker for Invictus. 205 ADR after the first 7 rounds. He's been putting in the hard yards for his team. But it is still 3 on 3, and Global can opt to cancel on this A bomb site, which will really open the map up, open this round up quite a bit.
I think the problem, though, is just the HP in a lot of these members at this stage. And I always realize the danger right now. It's allowing the CTs just to rotate into better post-plant or, like, retake positions. Beaver. Oh, my God. How does he actually hit that flick?
He's a Sharpie.
Well, that's a good trade coming out from Hellfighter. But this is a hell of an off angle to deal with a lot of the time. So Very difficult to flush out. We've been seeing a lot of CTs actually post up on this. And the problem is that the time is going to be ticking away. Caramel's the one with the bomb at this stage. Very difficult to cover. I don't know if they're going to be checking this. Caramel is going to be dropping the package over, and the boost has been spotted out. And once again, it's just the captain of Invictus that's just piling the hurt at this stage. Where's the flashbang coming forward? No flashbang just yet. OI covering the corner. And once again, just one of those promising rounds for Global where it looks like they might be able to get away. They've done really well to get the picks, bring it into equal scenario. There's just an individual stepping up for Invictus and just allowing them just to take these rounds with ease at the moment. Another tactical timeout.
Yep.
And I don't know what to say about this one. Generally, if your mid take's not working, your A site execute's not working, and the B plays aren't working, I don't know what will at this moment. And Invictus, they're not like pushing beyond a threshold at the moment. It's not as if they're going, I'm running at you and you're losing. They're just holding and they're just going, we're receiving everything you've got. We've seen all your punches now. We've received them and nothing will phase us.
Where was this on Inferno though, Kev? That's a really good question, I think.
Oh, I think that's just also sometimes when you come to a best-of-3 series, you're up one map, you get a bit cocky, and you just go, oh, we can just kind of do what we did on Duster to close out the game. It doesn't work. You don't recognize the dangers. You don't stop it in time. And now you're here, so it's kind of like for Invictus. Yeah, they're going to be feeling a little bit angry that they did drop a game.
Yeah, probably a case of reinforcing what they actually should have done in this series.
And look, to be fair, their CT side on Dust 2 was actually very good. And they did come back after a deficit on their CT side of Inferno as well to actually equalize the half as well. They were down 7-3 at one stage. Yep. The CT side isn't my concern. It's the T side at the moment for Invictus. That's the problem. But I could say the same. Global's strength has been on their offensive side when they've kind of had the strategies to go in all together. Now spreading out for a 2-2-1 default, looking to take this control mid a bit later. And it's just, once again, timing. It's like Hellfighter does well to clear it. He's going to go, surely no one's going to peek on the top of that. There is no one there at this stage.
It just gets tougher and tougher, doesn't it, for Global? Sooner or later, we're going to see Invictus feeling even freer. They're going to just do whatever they want. I mean, Destroyer hiding behind the smoke here is going to get the freest double kill of his life.
Bomb's still in spawn. No way in at the moment for Global. So even if they get these picks, and they're not, because it's just, they're dropping down one by one. They don't even have the package to work with. And this is painful to say. This is a little bit devoid. This is not the Global I'm used to seeing. Normally, they're very good at taking a site together, trying to get this map control. But Invictus are just playing very sneaky, very standard, and managing to wrangle these advantages away. Even if they do get the last 16 rounds, and that's a big if at this moment.
Yep.
I don't know, mentally this is the part where it's just fatiguing. You're down 9-0 at this stage. You've got one tactical timeout. None of your strats really worked for you. You're kind of throwing things to the wind at the moment and just going, you're just hoping that one round works and then you can build on the confidence. Normally you go, okay, Invictus are over pushing, let's counteract that. Look at this round. It's 3 people over here and Beaver's just straight on the pick. There's still 2 people here on the B side.
And it's just Deathmaker that's committed. He hasn't had anyone else backing him up. Destroyer walks in behind them. You get the sense that Global is not even in this contest right now. It's just Invictus dictating everything that happens. Yeah, Global might go to one side of the map or the other, but end of the day, the game is played on Invictus's terms. Flying somehow gets that kill while flying. 10-0.
And just once again, it's a bit of the same old. It's like this time around for Global, though, there's just no one individually stepping up at the stage. They're all around the same par. And that's kind of the story of, like, OI still hasn't died 10 rounds in. Still. Mining on the CTs. It's great. Now comes the mid-control once again from Global. Again, no AWP in the play for the CTs. It's just Destroyer looking to try to utilize a one-way, but finally gets punished for it. But Xiao Saga is able to just once again get a trade, slides out. Really annoying. And it's really just down to this one-on-one duel right now. Viva, I don't know if Hellfighter's heard this out, but Viva's just posted on a very hard angle to actually flush the CT off once he has assumed this.
Well, you're absolutely right, Kev. Pretty hard for health. Can't do anything there. Viva's been reasonably sharp with the AWP here on Mirage.
He was definitely picking up on Inferno. There were a couple of moments where you're like, yeah, this is the individual that needed to step up. And now you're starting to see it a little bit more. Now it comes this short take at the moment. So a bit of pressure into short, maybe into a B split. And it's just down to OI to hold this angle. Deathmaker on the entry. No, it's actually just Deathmaker in the ladder. They're actually heading back to A with no palace control and no A ramp control with 45 seconds left. This is so risky at this stage. And they're just going to walk straight into the AWP of Viva. And Deathmaker can't bust through ladder. He's going to make noise either way.
He can't keep getting away with this.
You can't just allow Viva just to keep walking back. He's just falling onto different angles, and they're still persisting forward. They have to get a I'm hoping Global finally gets some timing, but it just doesn't look like it.
Oh, Viva. He really was close to finding the timing there as well. Either way, it's just going to be a tough one for Caramel. Oh, can't get off the bomb site at all. Or he's going to spot him if he does. And that's going to prompt Flying to push forward. That is a good start. Caramel leg shot, though, onto Xiao Saga. If he hit that one, what a difference it could have made into the one-on-one. And then it was all on to Oi walking up connector. And that's a tough aim duel for the M4 to take. Either way, Invictus will get over the line. 11-0. And it's just 1 foot in front of the other. That's all that Invictus needs to be doing.
So unfortunate. Like, Caramel honestly has played that clutch pretty well.
Yeah.
Just finds the angles. He needs to actually go aggressive and take some of these. Great shot onto Flying. That is not an easy shot to hit with the AWP, honestly, onto the little noggin. The fact that he's able to nearly bring it back down to a one-on-one, the only difference was a little bit of plywood between a one-on-one and maybe a victory for Global. Still, the pain train is continuing at this stage. It's going to be a huge mid presence coming out one more time. Maybe a faster push up through short.
Help is definitely on his way. Xiao Saga completely cleaned up by the flash. Caramel, another great job this time in the assisting department. And Oi might finally get to have some fun because Global have gone to the B bomb site. Let's see what Oi can do. Oh, 2! He wasn't going to hold the spray down. Deathmaker does manage to trade back on out. Flying in such a bad spot. But he's done so much damage to Hellranger and Caramel, and Hellranger almost dies to the molly. Viva's in on the rotate. This might be the first round for Invictus. 1-on-3 with the AWP. I'm not liking his chances.
But he still has a full belter utility at the moment, so all he needs to do is just take down one of these high HP members, and he can just rely on the sidearm. Deathmaker stepping forward at this stage, but all the T's from Global almost staying hidden, but not long enough. Hellranger has transitioned to a better position. Can't really peek out now, and Caramel might be locked out behind this incendiary grenade that he's going to be using soon. But so many angles for Viva to clear out. The smoke may work in the favor of Hellranger. And Viva, I think, has kind of called it at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, he had the utility. He still had an incendiary. He would have surely tossed that into Palace. Palace, I keep saying Palace. Apartments. Either way, look, I don't think Invictus is too concerned by dropping one round here.
No, and good stuff for Global, just picking up the pace. Just once again, they have still these ideas. They're not throwing ideas to the wind just yet. Picking up the pace just to rely or try to prey on the fact that Xiao Sage is actually playing so aggressive to short at the moment. And they get that pick, they roll forward with it. Now looking much better when they're coming in together in unison to the site. This is a little bit better. They can still salvage these last 3 rounds, but we just need to see that discipline come out one more time. Huge fake to mid, but it is actually going to be an A-side hit, and there's only one person here, which is going to be Flying.
Yeah, he's holding close, though, so he'll get the info pretty early that there might be some sort of inroads being made, and immediately the response, look at that, huge util usage, again from Invictus. The nade blows up in the face of Caramel, and the lightning fast, the incendiary stops them in their tracks. And while Health gets a bit of work done in mid, it's still overall a net loss for Global Esports. Their HP is taking a beating.
Oh, no. And it's just, you look at this push once again coming out from Invictus at this stage. I mean, they're just preying on the fact that maybe someone gets over aggressive. Is Destroyer going to push and not check this corridor? Or is he just going to sit tight? I think he might push a little bit too far. Gun barrel has been spotted out as well. Destroyer's cleared a lot of information out. They have to go to the A site. But with 2 members low,
Not feeling too confident, are you, Kev? Flying is going to be flashed into A ramp. There's even more util waiting for Invictus, and Flying maybe gets a bit over-eager in that peek into Palace. Does give the numbers advantage back to at least even for Global Esports, but we do need to be aware Avoid wrapping behind them. Viva's going to try and delay for as long as possible. He's in trouble behind that molly, but Destroyer bails him out of that a little bit.
And they can't plant, that's the problem. Even though this Incendiary Grenade's going down, it's like they have to be so scared of Viva at the moment. There's so many flashbangs going on. And eventually Caramel's just stuck in a really hard position. Has to go huge and ballistic right now, but there's just, he's being crunched on from 3 different angles. There is nothing he can do with a rifle at that situation on 6 HP. So Global, once again, they managed to get the bomb plant down. At the very least, they can get some weapons into this next round and utility, but I feel like it's just the same story at this stage. Invictus are individually starting to hit their stride. Once again, it is their CT side, the one that they have been performing on. And Global just not able to find that spark, really, to get the engine going at this moment.
I don't really know what more to say there is, Kev. Viva's been really good with the AWP. 9 and 6 though. I mean, I feel like he's had more impact than that scoreline would actually dictate. The rest of Invictus have been doing well. It's a complete change up from Inferno. Now Sage posted on the line with an AUG.
He's shoulder peeking and he has like an HE nade, and he just assumes the angle, and it's just like Deathmaker is just going, wait, why is he still peeking that? It's going to be drawn in and just eats an HE
what a
nade.
sick nade.
That's like an Advent play right there. It's like just big brain. At least Global have this mid control. They're set up for this short split, but someone needs to go back and reinforce this B-Apps push. No, someone needs to get this bomb back through them. Great trades though coming out right now.
Boy, is still going to be a problem, and he's working fast. He wasn't able to spot Deathmaker, who was low on HP. That was the multi-kill potential for him. Again, Global do get into a site, 3-on-3, but the numbers are just coming across so quickly from Invictus that never feels like Global are going to be able to easily get a bomb plant down. Health does see flying, bouncing around on short. Viva's making his way out of the shop. And he spotted Deathmaker. That's a quick flick indeed. 1-on-1, it's going to have to be here for Health. He sees flying on his short. Bomb plant, 27 seconds to get. Oh! Well, untap from Health, and Flying was quite keen to take that challenge. He probably didn't need to be that eager. But I suppose when the blood's pumping, when you're up 12-1, you're quite happy to do kind of whatever.
I mean, you'd be backing yourself in that aim duel, but that is a hell of a shot coming out from Hellfighter as well. Very tricky situation, and Global do manage to salvage a second round in this T-half. Look, anything at this stage at least to get themselves a margin and something to fight back into this map, but I just got a feeling it might be a little bit too little too late.
Yeah, Incendiary is going to force Health out of his position at top mid. This time a little bit of a slower round from Global Esports. They look like they actually want to set up and execute on A.
Oh no, and the way that Invictus is set up at this stage just completely counters your A-site execute as well.
As soon as that util starts getting thrown across, Invictus is either going to be prompted to push or they're just going to be ready with this double stack into ramp. Destroyer does get wrecked though by Deathmaker, and Flying was holding back with a bit of util in hand, so it actually goes much better for Global Esports than it probably should have. Viva needs to be a little wary of this close angle, but he's seen the gun barrel. Shot doesn't quite finish off Health, but the deagle comes out, and that's all good in the end.
Going straight to the B site. OI's going to hear this though. Might be able to catch off 1 or 2 stragglers right now. Lightning Fast doesn't clear. It won't be able to see that head. And does OI hear the last player? He does not. Hellranger doing some good work, covering some angles. And so Global might be able to pick up this last round.
Say that, but we're back to a 3-on-3. Xiao Sage will be traded back on down. Viva's quick up short has made a bit of noise, so Caramel's looking in that direction. Definitely very prepared for a peek, and it's all down to Viva now. Good couple of shots into the head of Caramel. He might be able to make this one work, but he's going to have to be quick. The grenade goes through, lands at the feet of Lightning Fast, but doesn't do enough damage, and Smoke Defuse might be on the cards right now. Viva, I don't even know if he's tapped the bomb, but Global Esports, they've committed to it. Now he's going to hold it. Can Lightning Fast find the kill in time? I don't think he will. He's faked it out. He thought at least was going to be the case, but it's 13-2 to Invictus, and that is a dominant first half from the Chinese squad.
can tell. They say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I know it well. Take your pulse and lie it down. It's all about now, and you're alive. Light is pulling you in. It's time to begin a new life. I feel enough to live. Forgive my broken past. I'm never gonna break. I'm standing tall. I know that I've been weak. I found the strength to breathe. I'm never gonna break. I'm standing tall. I'll be open with you, with me. No words unspoken. We can't be broken so easily. Take your pulse and lie it down. It's all about now, and you're alive. Light is pulling you in. It's time to begin a new life. I feel enough to live. Forgive my broken past. I'm never gonna break. I'm standing tall. I know that I've been weak. I found the strength to breathe. I'm never gonna break. I'm standing tall. I feel enough to live. Forgive my broken past. I'm never gonna break. I'm standing tall. I know that I've been weak. I found the strength to breathe. I'm never gonna break. I'm standing tall.
G'day and welcome back to the Invictus Gaming Show. It's 13-2 on Mirage Yarsayage, playing a bit of a juggling game with his pistol in the T-spawn, and it seems like spirits are high for the Chinese squad. Can't really say the same for Global Esports. It's been a tough half for them. We had our hopes quite high after seeing Inferno go their way, but Invictus Gaming have really come out with a vengeance here on Mirage, and this is going to be a Herculean task for Global Esports on the CT side.
I mean, it starts with the pistol, right? If they're able to get at least the pistol, string a couple of rounds together, just maybe try to salvage a comeback. All it takes is a couple. We've seen them have the ability before for 9 or 10 rounds. Now they have to do obviously a lot bigger of a task than that. All starts in this A site retake. Caramel spots all this. He's going to bail straight out as Invictus flood onto the A site. Bomb's going to be planted, I would say, relatively open. No flashbangs to push into CT just yet. It's going to be a brawl in CT spawn.
Yeah, it is. Flying does get flashed in there. He's spotted probably 3 or 4 players, and he's just said to his boys, hang on, don't overcommit to this one. The flash has to come through before you re-peek. And he is going to do a pretty good job of communicating that across to his team. Invictus well prepared for what they needed to do there. Health, in the meanwhile, is going to be rotating through the bomb site. He's tapped the bomb. Destroyer takes the peek. Drops a bit of damage, but is ballsy enough to re-peek anyway. And that's 14 for Invictus. So it's going to be forced by City here for Global Esports. They're really just going to need to continue to buy and buy and buy for the rest of this half as long as it lasts, because they don't have any chances left now.
And here's hoping Invictus actually go together as a unit as opposed to, you know, flooding into a site individually one by one. Global's actually taken the eco, and that's mad respect to fight, to try to maximize your chances to fight back into overtime as well. That's not an easy decision to make sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You're going to have to play for overtime against Invictus. Look, I guess it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place. It doesn't feel like either of those choices is a good one.
Yeah, 100%.
And so you have to just decide on one. And to be fair to Global, this is, again, in line with their methodology when it comes to Counter-Strike. This is the kind of thing that we've seen them doing throughout all of the games they've played here in DreamHack Open
You're
Summer.
flying seriously to just jump around short for about 10 seconds to draw that out? Whew. I'd feel a bit cheated if I was lightning fast, because eventually it's like, when is this guy going to peak? There we are, 13 series points for Invictus to work with. I think it's a bit unfortunate. I think this is a bit of a soft finish right now for Global, in all honesty, because I definitely feel like they played well enough to deserve more than 2 rounds overall in this series. I think they are actually the team that can probably get 10, 11 rounds at a team like Invictus. But that CT side was just too dominant, and unfortunately, maybe just the game going for a little bit too long here was eventually the undoing.
Oh, well, maybe Global Esports are going to have a difficult time of even getting around on the CT side, because Invictus, oh man, they're just tearing through them with the MAC-10s, aren't they? B bomb site completely open. Invictus maybe a bit slow to get this bomb down, but doesn't really even matter at this point. 4-on-3 retake with absolutely not a single lick of utility on the CT side is not going to be a very fun task at all, particularly given that Global are all coming from the same angle. Viva definitely looks like he wants to get this one done, and adjusted. He's gone aggressive. He gets a 1-for-1. That's sharp from Hellranger, but Destroyer has traded it down, and Hellranger with 16 HP has to try and keep the map alive for Global Esports. And Kev, I just don't think it's going to happen. 16-2, Invictus. They show up on Mirage after they disappeared on Inferno, but they do get in a series 2-1, and they'll put themselves through to the lower bracket final.